Hi guys, and welcome to the 5th episode of The World Diary, a video series where I document how my world viewpoint is coming along. If you are new to my channel, I am in the process, very slow process, of rebuilding the entire world with my own lots and repopulating it with my own sims. Before I start on the world, I do want to show you the makeover of the alien landing lot, which was actually already built around the time of the 4th episode, but I completely forgot to show you. So I'm going to travel to Sixham now to show you. So here it is. This is my makeover of the alien landing lot, and it's called Sixham Fueling Station. It is a finished lot that you can download, and if you do choose to download it, obviously you will need to get to work for this. But if you do choose to download it, I will link all the finished lots posts in the video description, so the post on my Tumblr should help you to basically explain how to place this down if you don't know how to replace special lots and stuff. So yeah, I guess I'll show you a little bit. There's like a little dining area here, and it's mostly just decorative. So it has the wormhole, which is where you spawn and which is what you use to go back home. And I also placed these rockets around. This one's not like fully built, but yeah, it's just like a nice industrial lot, I guess. I was inspired by the scenery of Fallout 4. I don't even have the game, I just saw screenshots on Tumblr and really liked it, so I wanted something similar here. And this was the result. Oh, and also, my sim London finally has some dreadlocks, thanks to the patch that removed the gender restriction on clothes and hair. So for people who are familiar with my Tumblr know that I wanted him to have dreads for a very long time, because for some reason EA were never, well, they kept releasing dreads, but they were always only for females. So now he finally has dreads. Hooray! But I'm going to move on now. Here we are in Willow Creek, and there are a couple changes to go over here. So first, you may notice that the old work in progress winery that used to be there is no longer there. It's just nothing there now. But I have actually built a new winery thanks to the new Dine Out game pack. So I will actually show you the finished result in this video as well. It's just sitting in Windenburg. So this lot is now empty. And I also now have a lounge, which I'm going to jump to show you a bit better. Here it is. It looks a little bit funky at the moment because the last patch seems to have broken something with certain doors and windows. You can see my windows and doors are not visible here, but if I go down, this is basically what it's meant to look like, and this is what it used to look like before the previous patch, so something is wrong right now, but hopefully they will fix it soon. But yes, this is my lounge. Ignoring the missing doors and windows right now, I am much happier with it because, as I mentioned before in previous episodes, I was really not pleased with my old lounge. It was just a bit boxy and ugly, so this is much more attractive in my opinion. I think it goes quite well with the with my restaurant there, Wine and Dine. Guess I'm gonna quickly show you inside. So we have a little musical instrument set up here with a microphone and like a dance floor in front of it, and some seating and a bar here on the ground floor. And then on the upper floor is just mainly seating. There's a bathroom there. And this is also a finished lot that you can download. Maybe wait till they fix the doors and the windows to download, or you can download it now, it's up to you. But yes, I'm a little bit annoyed at this because I can't really show you it in its glory But you get the idea. This is what it looks like at night time. No? I'm trying to get that sign to... For some reason it won't change the color. It's meant to light up. I'm not sure, maybe it's because I'm in build mode. I'm not sure what's happening. But yeah, that's the lounge. Also, on the subject of wine and dine, I'm not going to go into detail about it because I did talk about it more in the previous episode. But I just wanted to say that I do have dine out, and I was thinking of making it a proper restaurant because I built it before dine out and it is set as a bar right now. But for some reason, every restaurant I've built in my save so far, which is I think is 2 or 3, all of my sims are always seated outside, even though there's plenty of seating indoors, and it's really annoying me. So there's obviously a lot of seating space in front and in the back too. So I'm afraid that if I start updating this with dine out stuff, all of my sims will also be seated outside, and once again it's gonna annoy me. So that's kind of why I haven't really done much about that yet. I did receive a request to update it on Tumblr, and I'll think about it. I just feel like if I do and everyone's just gonna be sitting here like outside or at the back, it's just gonna be like a waste of a venue. So yeah, right now it's pretty much unchanged, so it's not a restaurant. It's still set as a bar. Moving on, I will talk about this little residential neighborhood here in Willow Creek. And the first thing is I've updated the coastal cottage on the inside. I think on the outside a little bit as well, but mainly on the inside. It looks quite similar to how it used to be on the exterior anyway, but it did receive a substantial makeover on the interior. I think the old version was built in the ancient times before I move objects on, and a lot of the other content, and no stuff packs or game packs, so I am much happier with it now because I do like clutter and detail, which the first version sadly wasn't. You can see the pretty light there from these windows. There's the new light change, and here's the upstairs. So it is still inhabited by Basil as before, so I just literally gave his house a bit of a makeover, the interior mainly. But this version is also available for download on my Tumblr or on the gallery. I am also slowly making way with this house here, the only remaining work in progress house in this neighborhood. So I do actually have the homeworkers living there, but the house isn't finished yet. So if you have seen the first episode of the series, you may remember seeing it. It does look a little bit different now. I've edited the outside a tiny bit and like changed some of the wallpaper and some of the elements. But shell-wise, it's pretty much the same. I did edit the landscaping a bit. I'm not sure if the previous version I showed even had any landscaping. Maybe some basic stuff. So I did some like little setup here. This is just a bit random right now, just some plants strewn around, but I'm gonna probably rearrange them. So they also not gonna have any fence, because I'm not sure if you've seen my previous episodes, but this neighborhood, I'm basically not putting fences in any of these houses, because I quite like the whole like open yard vibe, especially when you're in live mode and you don't see like the lines, so you can just pretend that, you know, this whole like area is their backyard, because there's no fencing or any markers. I think this house has undergone about 3 different interiors, and I just keep changing them because I'm not happy. So I think it's like the 4th now. I'm a little bit happier, so I only have the kitchen and the lounge so far. I don't really have anything. Well, there's like remnants of the old bedroom there, but obviously you can see I'm like changing it. I am quite happy with the kitchen. It's like a bit of a different style for me. I don't really have anything similar like this anywhere, I don't think. Most of my kitchens are just kind of, I don't know how to explain them. They don't really have like a particular theme, but I was trying to go for like a theme here, this kind of like fruity, fresh theme, I guess you could say. So this is the kitchen. It's definitely my favorite part of this house. I mean, it only has 2 rooms furnished right now, but the lounge, well, it's like a dining area, I guess, dining room. It's a little bit basic. I have like similar stuff like this in other lots. Like my my winery has like a lot of these similar elements. But I do really like the kitchen here. It's quite neat. But yes, it is a work in progress right now. But it is going to be occupied by the homemakers, as originally planned, I think. I can't remember if there were any other contenders, but yeah, they do live on it now, even though it's unfinished. Hopefully I'll finish it soon. The last thing to go over in Willow Creek is this neighborhood here. If you have seen my previous episode, you may remember it had some work in progress lots on all of these, but now I've actually removed everything, and I've also replaced one lot with a new shell. So back in the day, this used to be the brownstone row, which was a trio of townhouses, which was a really old request on Tumblr, and it used to be inhabited by Marceline Sierra. And I did actually, well, originally when I built it, I uploaded the unfurnished version, and then over time I actually furnished it in my game, but I never got around to sharing it. I think I just came to the conclusion that I wasn't really happy with the shell or the interior. Well, I probably was happy at one point, but then I just fell out of love with it. So if you have seen the 4th episode, you may actually recall seeing a work in progress little townhouse thing on that lot there, and that's actually what I used for this shell here. I did change some elements, but yes, this like one thing was basically that old work in progress lot that used to be sitting there. So I essentially replicated it to have these like twin townhouses. They are not connected. You can see there's like a bit of space there, because I think most of my other townhouses, they are connected. So it's a little bit different. But it is still inhabited by Marceline, because she's going to be my rich, spoiled princess of Willow Creek. I think I'm going to just let her have one of them, and then the other one you can actually see I kind of like block the windows with curtains and blinds and stuff, just so you can't really see inside, because I don't think I'm gonna furnish it, and obviously I don't really want to be able to see inside and see it's unfurnished. So I kind of blocked the windows on the one that's not going to be in use. But hers is going to be this one with the brown door. And I did start furnishing it a little bit, so the upper floor is pretty much nothing. But we do have like a nice little entry room here with this lovely floor that I really like. And she has this nice little lounge as well, and I don't think, no, the kitchen's not finished yet, but just like a little space here, and there's just like a little random room. So yeah, it's still very much a work in progress, but in terms of the shell, and even in with like the interior that I have so far, I'm much happier with this now than the old one. And also I actually gave many of my old townies makeovers too, so they received new hair and new clothes in many cases, thanks to the patch that removed the gender restriction, because a lot of the male hairs actually look really nice in females. I did mention it in my patch video. So if you do use my townies, I would advise you go on my Tumblr and actually browse for my townies, because I basically have all my townies posted in separate download posts on my Tumblr, and I have also posted the download links for updated versions as well as pictures. So if you download from me from the gallery, you will not be able to get the updated townies because I don't really share them to the gallery simply because I don't want to like overload my gallery contents. But if you do want to have them, or if you want to have a look, I would advise you to go on my Tumblr and have a look. I will always link it in the video description if you don't know the link directly. But I'm going to move on. The next world I'm going to go over is Oasis Springs, and I believe this is actually the world that received the most changes from the previous episode, which is I think a nice change because I feel like Oasis Springs was probably the one world with like the most stagnant progress out of all of them. So you may see my old park is now gone simply because it was just a bit crap. I'm not really sure what I'm doing there now. Maybe if they ever add like terrain height to the game, or maybe if they like release some kind of golf object, I can retry the whole golf course thing that I was trying to go for originally. But right now I don't really have any other ideas, so it's just gonna be empty for now. So I'm going to focus on this little hood of community venues. And the first thing is, you may remember the 5-0 diner that I've showed in the 4th episode. It's still there and it's still called the same, but I've actually updated the interior again just so I can now have it as a restaurant thanks to the Dine Out game pack. So I'm going to jump in there. Here it is. It's very similar to how it used to be. I think I just edited the windows a little bit and like changed the plants outside, but in terms of exterior it's pretty much 95% the same. The changes are mainly in the interior. So it still has like some similar elements to the previous interior, but it's a little bit different now. It's like even more 50s, I would say, than the first version of the 50s upgrade, because originally this was like an atomic diner, then it was a 50s diner, now it's like a 50s diner plus. So yeah, it has a kind slightly new color scheme. So it has the nice booths from Dine Out. There's a kitchen there at the back, and I think previously it had like the bathroom in the back here, so I had to move the bathroom into this little space, this little like column here, because I did need to obviously have a kitchen since this is a restaurant. And this is actually one of the restaurants where for some reason my Sims are being seated outside constantly. It's mainly like Sims who are in groups of 2. So they'll be seated like here instead of being seated outside. But when Sims come in groups of 3 and 4, they are normally seated in the booth. So it is a bit random. I'm not really sure what's causing it. But it is a finished lot. There's like some plates out there, and there's like a drink I see as well. But yes, this is a finished lot that you can download. That doesn't come with random plates and drinks, I assure you. And if you do choose to use it, I guess you can always remove the outdoor seating, which will then ensure that your Sims are only seated indoors. And actually I have a new townie called Gwen Dempsey, and she is the owner of this lot in my world. So you can actually see her portrait there. That's her. So this is the 5.0 Diner version 2. Next up is the new improved art gallery. So it basically just replaced the old gallery on the same lot. So it's called Art Block. This is what it looks like. I was going for the kind of stereotypical brutalist, minimalist shell that a lot of the modern art galleries are. So it's like a series of blocks stacked on top of each other. So it has like a little fake car park here at the back as well. And I've kept the bus stop that I had in the old gallery. I think I've just slightly edited it. I think the old one was 3 tiles wide, so these are 2. And also I have a subway station here, and I actually now have a subway station in 3 worlds now. So I have one in Oasis Springs, which is here, and then I have one in Windenburg by the bank, and I have one in Newcrest by the internet cafe. So I do want to have at least one in each world, just to kind of create that illusion of, like the world's being connected. So I still need to have one somewhere in Willow Creek, but I don't have one there yet. So I'm gonna quickly show you the inside, I guess. So this glassy block is the main art museum, I guess. So it has all the art here. Some of these photographs are unframed for some reason. I think one of the patches unframed them, but they are meant to be framed. So it just has all the various modern art. Oh, and actually you may remember this chair installation if you are familiar with my old gallery. I could not pass up bringing it along because this is also like a modern art gallery. So, and it was like a nice, like a throwback to my previous first shell. And I've also have this toilet here that is like a thumbs up to Sims 3 gallery in Sunset Valley, because I'm sure it had like a toilet on a pedestal. So it's 3 floors of just sculptures and abstract modern minimalist art. So there's not like any people or objects, it's just mainly just like arty-farty. And I have this little room here, which is like a craft room, I guess you could say. So there's some easels there, and there's like a woodworking station there, and there's like a little pumpkin carving station too, and just a lot of like arty decor, like paintings and pictures and just clutter. So there's like a little sculpture there as well, just in this one room. And on the ground floor we have a little cafe here, and there's like a more like an extension in this inside this block. And this is like I was going for an art shop. So you have your paintings, and then you have like your supplies as well, like some glue and chisels and pencils and pens and so on. I'm not going to spend too much time showcasing the details because I think I want to restart the walkthrough series that I was trying to make happen. So yeah, if I do that, I will do like a better, more in-depth walkthrough of all my stuff. But for now, this is my new gallery, and it is a finished lot. I can't remember if I mentioned that, so you can already download this if you like it. By far the biggest change in Oasis Springs is this whole neighborhood here. So if you have seen the previous episode, you may remember seeing some work in progress lots in there, and also I used to have one furnished lot there, which was the container house, but as you can see I've bulldozed everything and completely rebuilt the whole area. So right now basically what I was going for was like 50s American suburban vibe, I guess. So I do have 4 finished lots and 1 work in progress lot here, so I'm gonna show each one. So the first house is this one. It's called Flamingo Lane. Actually all the houses, they have a different color exterior, and that's kind of what's reflected in the title. So this one's pink, and that's why it's called Flamingo Lane. It is on a 20 by 30 lot, I think, and it's inhabited by Gwen Dempsey, who is one of my new Sims, which is the same lady who actually runs the 50 Diner version 2 restaurant. So it's a furnished lot as well. Well, finished too, so you can download it if you like it. I guess I was kind of going for that like vintagey, not necessarily 50s vibe, because there's not really that much 50s objects in the game, I don't think. But yeah, I was going for that kind of feminine vintage style because Gwen is a lover of the vintage and the 50s. So that's her house. As always, I just don't want to start showing everything because once again I'll just make the video incredibly long, as I always do. So if you like any of the finished stuff, you can always find pictures on my Tumblr where you can see all the details. This is the ruby, so it's called the ruby because the walls are red. This is the smallest lot in the hood, so actually you can see the whole hood here, more or less. So you can see they all have like very similar style and same roofing and a lot of very similar or same elements, like the landscaping. But yes, this is the smallest lot in here. I think it's 20 by 15, and it's inhabited by Diego Khan, which is actually the sim that used to live in the container boat, which used to stand here. So for that reason, I decided to give him this house, and I've decided to furnish it in a very similar style to how his old container house used to be. So I've actually reused a lot of his old furniture. So it's still very, very like artistic and cluttered, how his old house used to be. But yes, it is also a finished lot that you can also download. Next up is this house. So you can see there's the ruby there and Flamingo Lane is there. So they are all quite close. It's called Turquoise Vista, and well, it's called appropriately turquoise because of the blue and green walls. And it's inhabited by the Reynolds, and it's also a finished lot that you can download. So it has 2 bedrooms. And actually, I think I've mentioned in one of the previous episodes that I was originally planning to have the Reynolds and the Brooks living somewhere in this neighborhood. I originally was planning to build like twin houses for them, so it would be identical houses, but they would be on separate lots. Because in my game, the adult female from the Reynolds household and the adult male from the Brooks household, they both have like daughters from previous relationships, so they are actually dating in my game, and I think they might actually be engaged as well, so that's why I wanted them to be neighbors. But they live here, so her and her daughter. I guess I'll just say a couple of words. So I went for this like very colorful island theme for her master bedroom, and her daughter Zuri got this like safari theme. So yeah, I feel like the kids stuff bag really helped me out here, because it like added a lot of cool stuff, like the bed with the little elephants, which is actually the catalyst for this theme. So if I didn't have it, I don't even know what I would have done here. So that's quite neat. And also, like, it just gives like more. It just gives me more ideas now for like bedrooms, for children bedrooms, because before there wasn't really much nice children furniture. And that's the yard there with a pool. So there will be 3 lots with pools in this neighborhood. So the Flamingo Lane has a little pool there, and the Reynolds have a pool, and this lot is gonna have a pool as well. So the Ruby and that lot there that I'm gonna show you next do not have a pool. I don't think I wanted all of them to have pools. I do want them to be slightly different, have something like the other one doesn't have. But yeah, I do really like how they all look together. This is the last remaining finished lot in this zone, so it's called Amber Way. Amber for its like orangey walls. And it's inhabited by the Brooks. So yes, this is, like I said, a finished lot that you can download. So this is what it looks like. It has like a nice open plan, and there's a child's bedroom which is like circus themed, which is probably my favorite children bedroom that I've built so far out of my entire world. It's just, I don't know, I just find it really fun. And once again, the bed from the the children's stuff bag was just massive help, and also like gave me inspiration for the theme. Just, I love this stuff bag. It just has so much cool stuff. So she has her own little bathroom there, and actually this is the only house in the neighborhood that has a basement. So in the basement there's like a little man cave there, and the father's master bedroom. So the owner of this house here is the fiance of the owner of Turquoise Vista there. So they are neighbors, live quite close, and their daughters are best friends. It's so cute. So this is the last remaining lot in this neighborhood. It's the only unfinished one so far. I think I started furnishing it, but I don't really like it, so I'm probably gonna redo this whole area here. It's on the biggest piece of land, as you can see, because all the other ones, they're either on a 20 by 30, so the three are 20 by 30, and that one is 20 by 15, but this one is 40 by 30, so it's the biggest lot. So I was thinking I'm gonna have the biggest house here. However, I'm finding it really hard to build a house that's large in this same style, because when I make the house larger, it just, I don't know how to explain it. Basically, because I have the roof facing this way, I feel like when a house is bigger, it makes this roof longer, and it just looks really, really weird. So right now, this is the shell that I have. I think even like diameter-wise or like length-wise, width-wise, it's probably about the same size as that shell. So really, it's not that much bigger. So I'm not really sure if I'm gonna keep it or maybe build like a bigger, different shell. Oh, and also I thought I'd say, you may notice that like all of the houses have this little like flower setup. So I have given them all different flowers, different color flowers. So this one has a pink one. Then the Turquoise Vista has like red flowers there. And Amber Way has purple flowers. And Flamingo Lane has I think they were yellow. And the Ruby has purple, I believe. Can't really tell there, but you can see it's like everywhere. So that's kind of what I like. I like having like similar or same elements everywhere. And they also all have like a chimney thingy. So you can see they all have at least one somewhere. And in terms of who's going to be living here, I was thinking of putting one of my bigger families. So I think so far I don't have any family over 3 members living anywhere in the world, so I would like to have maybe the Hales, because there's 4 of them living here. Basically I want to have like a bigger family live somewhere. So this is a bit of a question mark right now. I might redo the shell. Not really sure yet. But this is the 50s neighborhood. The last thing I'm going to show you in Oasis Springs is this lot here in this neighborhood. So I think I originally planned, or at least pondered, the possibility of building like another caravan residential because I have a household of circus performers. So I thought maybe it'd be nice to have them live there, and I actually started building a house for them, but I'm not sure. Then I suddenly got like an urge to have a petrol station somewhere in the world, and I can't really see it fitting anywhere else but Oasis Springs, and I didn't really want it to be anywhere else in any of the other neighborhood. So this is pretty much the only lot where I thought it would look nice. So I think I kind of scrapped the whole idea of having a residential there. So I am trying to build a station there, a petrol station. I'm going to show you what I have so far. So this is what I have right now. I made this like big sign here. So I was going for like a kind of a bit rundown look. So that's why it's like missing tiles. I like some of the parts of it, but some of the other stuff I'm not really sure about, so it is very much a work in progress still. I don't know, I might even decide that I don't want a petrol station in the world anymore. But right now, I think it's been in my game for like a month or so. So we'll see what happens. The last world I'm going to go into is Windenburg. There are no changes in Newcrest or Magnolia Promenade or Granite Falls. So I think there's only two things to go over here. The first one is a new restaurant, which is actually the new winery that I mentioned earlier that used to have a really old work in progress winery in Willow Creek, so I finally built a new one that's currently, well, and I believe it's going to stay in Windenburg because I just like the setting much more. So as you can see there, it's actually owned by Hervaux, which is a household of brother and sister that I mentioned I think in the first episode when I went into detail about the winery. So I don't think they actually live in any of the house yet in the world, so they just probably live on some random empty lot somewhere. But they are the owners of the winery because it is called the Hervaux Winery, and it's like in their household description that they're the descendants of a very wealthy wine dynasty. So I'm gonna jump into it. Here's what it looks like, and it's a restaurant, so you would need to have dine out for this to be usable. I think it's on a 40 by 30 piece of land, and it's a finished lot that you can download. I think I was going for like a European style with it because it does have like some hints of like British pub and also like some French little elements like the vineyard here, and have like a lot of plants here since it is a winery. I think it's mainly just like fruit and berries. I don't think I have any vegetables since you don't really make wine from potatoes or tomatoes, or I don't know, you might. But I'm not really familiar with tomato or potato wine that much. So there's like a nice little outdoor seating area there with barrels. And in terms of the interior, I guess it also like mixes styles, so it has like some Italian feel to it, so it's quite European, in my opinion anyway. It's kind of what I was going for. So here, and unfortunately, like with my diner, for some reason most of the Sims are seated outside, which to be fair, I guess isn't that unfortunate in terms of this lot, because I do like when Sims are seated like in this area here, and sometimes they're even seated here. So it is nice to see like Sims utilizing the outdoor area because this is like a winery, so it makes sense for them to want to sit outside and enjoy their glass of wine with the greenery around them. But yeah, it's a bit of a shame because I feel like the interior just gets wasted because nobody's ever sitting indoors. Because I do quite like the interior as well. But yes, that is the winery. Makes me miss Sims 3 World Adventures and Shopless Sims, because I used to really like traveling there. The last thing I'm going to show you is my makeover of the Island Bluffs. So this special lot here in Windenburg, I've updated it to be like a beachy community venue, so it's called Party Cove. And here's what it looks like. So it has your pool disguised as like a natural body of water, or try to anyway. and it has like a nice little dance DJ bar area here, and it has like a little fish fry as well. So just little things to have a good time and swim and socialize. It is built on the Island Bluffs lot, as you can see, so there's the ruins in the back. So when I uploaded it, so yes, this is a finished lot and it is available for download as well. So when I've uploaded it, it's saved as a generic lot because that is how game saves any lot that's been built on a special lot in the game. So it is saved as a generic. However, I have hidden the park items in the basement. Oh, there's the fish fry that you can see as well, just like some seating and tables. But yes, I've hidden the park items in the basement here, so it does meet the requirements for park, just in case you decide to have it somewhere else in your game. Because I think if it's set as generic, you don't really get many visitors on it. But if you set it as park, you'll obviously get a lot of more visitors and children as well. Because children for some reason really love visiting parks, at least in my game. And actually, if you don't oppose using mods, you can actually download one of Zerbo's mods that lets you edit the special lot types. So for instance, in my game, if you go to the information panel, so you can see mine is set to park. So the mod actually allows me to change it to park because if I didn't use the mod, it would just say Island Bluffs generic, and you cannot change the lot type of special lots or something along those lines. So in my game, it's a park simply for the visitors because I felt like it was a bit of a shame that, you know, not many people were visiting it as a generic. So yes, if you like this lot and you would like to have it on this piece of land here, I would advise you, if you don't mind using mods, to get the mod because it'll just make more Sims visit your venues and probably be more fun for you, so you wouldn't just be the only person or the only household here, so you'd have like Sims walking around. So I think that concludes this episode. I don't think there's anything else I want to show or have to show. I apologize if it is a bit long and tedious. I seem to be completely unable to make short videos. I don't know, I just keep on rambling forever. But I would like to thank you for watching. I will link my world page in the video description, which should have all the links to downloads and pictures of every single finished lot that I've showed in this episode, as well as any finished lots that I have in the world that have been covered by the previous episodes. So I'd like to thank you for watching, and I shall see you later.